place your attention on your breath. Breathe in and out. Just put your attention on the breath coming into your body as you inhale. It's clear. Nothing.
Have you ever had the feeling that your mind is on a journey, a voyage of discovery? That sometimes it has to make long passages on dark, uncharted seas? The greatest journey is the journey of the mind, since this is what determines the journey of life. A man cannot directly choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts, and so indirectly, yet surely, shape his circumstances. You will be what you will to be.
Can you still fight?
What? What kind of question is that?
You changed. Stop being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame. Like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
You just love to wallow in your own ridiculous suffering. Don't you think you've blamed yourself enough already for not being perfect?
The hours of guilt through every day. I need you to know we'll never go away.
It was through my fear that I pushed forward to meet my ultimate potential. I understood my power, and in the larger scheme, I knew the part I had to play.
I was weak in that I lacked the courage to accept responsibility for my unhappiness. Blaming the world is the coward's way out. It was ultimately my inner strength that enabled me to break free of the chain.
You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
Calmness is power. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mine of his soul.
This is it. But I need some help. I can't do this alone.
Mental suffering is always the effect of error in some direction. It is an indication that the individual is out of harmony with himself, with the law of his being. The sole and supreme use of such suffering is to correct and teach. Mental suffering ceases for him who is wise. What then is the meaning of fighting against circumstances? It means that a man is continually revolting against an effect without, while all the time he is nourishing and preserving its cause in his heart. Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are
Alright, folks, that'll be it for today. A quick review on the trade itself. You remove all the lipstick. The big part of the trade was based off of this bearish order block and seeing this initial reaction, especially from this swing high. So swing high, typically you have a high, lower high to the left of it, and another lower high to the right of it. So it creates this swing, this 3-bar pattern. And when I saw that, typically you get a nice reaction off of swing highs alone, and having it coupled with the bearish order block, that was really good. And I'm bearish for the AM session anyways. So all these things started to lay out. Then you have this wick in here, and if you were to get the mean, let's say midpoint of the wick, I almost said mean threshold, but that's for order blocks. So that'll be consequent encouragement for the wick. So the midpoint of the wick can do that. So it comes out to be 40.67 even. So whenever price traded up there, it didn't trade all the way up there, but whenever price gets that close, typically you get a nice reaction off of that alone also. And that's where there was a volume imbalance. Well, you'll see that when we drop to a lower time frame. And seeing all that, it put me in a really good state of mind to actually feel confident to take the trade and target sell side liquidity. You know, buy side already has been taken. We have a 4-hour bearish order block in here. So if you start to layer these things from a higher time frame to a lower time frame, let me actually show you this down close candle here. Charts are very messy. Alright, a lot better. So off of that alone, I'm already expecting lower prices, maybe to the 50% level of this whole price range. So expecting prices to be down here somewhere later on throughout the day. seeing price already filled in this volume imbalance from overnight. So look how the wicks reacted. None of the bodies wanted to stay inside that volume imbalance. I'll show you. Just seeing things like that really puts you in the right proper context to see whether or not you want to go long. Some people may justify going long in a market like this, but when you see so much going on, the market's refusing to go higher, doesn't mean they can't. Of course, they can do whatever they want, but if you're looking for 5 handles, 10 handles, that's pretty easy to get once you got this bearish order block. Displacement lower, create a market structure shift, came back into it. That's where I went short. Let me show you guys. So that's where I went short at the consequent encouragement of this wick inside this order block and the hourly order block, also targeting sell side liquidity. I found another entry also. We'll actually talk about that. So here, small fair value gap and bearish order block. The fair value gap coupled with the order blocks. Once you actually have them in the proper context, they're actually the best entries out there. Of course, volume imbalance when it comes to precision is the best entry you could possibly ever get. But the fair value gap like this inside an order block in a market that's already disposed to go lower, it's almost a done deal. Got worried in here for a bit. The markets weren't reacting how I'd like. That's why I took a lot of my position off here, because I saw this potential fair value gap. I didn't want the markets to use that to go higher. And if they had, I took a majority of my position off, then it wouldn't have been a big deal. And then right after, I jammed my stop loss up here at the swing high. So higher high, lower high to the left of it, and lower high to the right of it. So that's how I typically move my stops. It's based off of swing highs and swing lows and such. Quick review, sell 1 here, sell 5 here. That's the majority of my position inside this order block. Then got the last of it in here. Alright folks, hope this was useful and insightful to you all. It's Friday, so happy trading and have a wonderful week.